With the purchase of your Rocket Stoven from your professional camping friends at Deluxe Camping, you are ready to cook outdoors without the mess and without using a lot of wood. By using the Deluxe Camping Rocket Stoven, you can cook cleaner and more efficiently. The Rocket Stoven provides a cooking surface like a burner on your range top. It burns cleaner using much less wood than an open campfire, creating very little smoke or ash. It is densely insulated and has a 1/8 inch thick steel burn chamber. This design channels the heat from the fire inside the burn chamber to the cooking surface on top, where you can use a pot to boil water or cook a soup or stew. You can also easily use a frying pan to fry bacon and eggs or cook any other food. The types of pots and pans that can be used include different sized frying pans, a Dutch oven with legs or one with a flat bottom, a stock pot, a coffee pot, and even a pressure cooker. With the special cooking platform, you can even cook with pans that have an uneven or round bottom. You could even remove any pots or pans and cook s'mores. To start a fire, pull out the steel plate and put the fire starter, egg carton section with melted wax and wood shavings on the back of the plate that will be pushed into the burn chamber. Light the fire starter and put in 5 or 6 small sticks or twigs. Once the fire starts to go, add larger wood. 2 to 3 inch diameter wood can be used. As the fire burns, the sticks or wood will need to be pushed into the back of the burn chamber. It is helpful to have a stick to push the wood. Deluxe Camping has taken the rocket stove concept to a whole new level. Instead of having just one cooking surface where you can cook with a pot or pan, the Rocket Stoven allows you to securely attach an oven on top by using a special clamp. The best way to connect the Rocket Stoven and the oven is to put the clamp on the Rocket Stoven with the thumb screw pointing forward to the right front corner of the oven. This makes it easier to tighten the screw. There is a small ridge in the clamp that points down. Now set the oven in the clamp and tighten it. When you first open your oven, you will see 2 pans and a black knob. Unscrew the knob and screw it in the handle on the back of the oven. This is for the creosote cleaner. I will talk more about that later. The oven functions just like your oven at home, where you can bake casseroles, cookies, cakes, and breads. The oven has racks inside where you can place bread pans, cookie sheets, or casserole dishes. It comes with a cookie sheet and a baking pan. The pans fit on 2 different shelves. With the oven on top of the Rocket Stoven, the heat circulates completely around the oven chamber, providing even heat for baking. Smoke does not come in contact with the food. The heat then vents out the top of the oven, so you now have a stovetop cooking surface where you can place a pot or pan to cook additional food without using additional fuel. This cuts down on the time it takes to cook your meal and the fuel you use. Cooking 2 things at once can cut your cooking time in half. This way, you can bake your biscuits and fry your bacon and eggs at the same time. Or at dinner time, you heat water for cleanup as your casserole is baking in the oven. Here are some helpful tips that will make your baking more successful. When using your oven for the first time, you should bring the temperature to 400 degrees and let the paint burn off. When the oven quits smoking, it is ready to use for baking. Cook one thing at a time. If you are baking bread, you can cook 2 loaves at once, side by side, but you shouldn't cook bread on one shelf and cookies on the other shelf at the same time. You should only cook 1 casserole at a time. You can, however, cook 2 sheets of cookies at the same time. We have found that using silicone baking mats provides better performance when baking on cookie sheets. Food cooks more evenly with less likelihood of burning, and cleanup is much easier. You might also consider using thicker pans than the thin cookie sheet that comes with the oven. We have also learned that cast iron bread pans provide superior heat distribution for more even cooking. We really like using a wire cooking rack to place pans on as it provides a more even heat distribution. There is a convenient thermometer on the door that helps you cook at the proper temperature. The thermometer averages about 120 degrees less than the actual temperature inside. So if you want to bake at 350 degrees, the thermometer should read around 230 degrees. Oven temperatures, up to 500 degrees, can be regulated by controlling the amount of fuel in the Rocket Stoven and by opening the oven door a small amount. Smaller twigs generate more and faster heat than larger sticks. As the sticks burn, make sure you push them into the Rocket Stoven in order to maintain a consistent heat. The door latch, with a wiring handle, is easy to use, even when the oven is hot. We have found that even when opening the door to peek inside to see how the food is doing or to adjust the temperature, that bread does not fall like it would if you open the door in your home oven while baking bread. A few maintenance and safety tips. After multiple uses, you will need to dump the ashes. When the Rocket Stoven is cold, tip it so the ashes fall out of the burn chamber. The creosote scraper should be used when storing your oven, or about once a month when using it long term. Turn the handle clockwise and leave it in a horizontal position when cooking. Even though you are not seeing much smoke with the Rocket Stoven, it will get the bottom of your pots and pans black. You can apply a thin layer of soap to your pots and pans prior to use. This enables you to easily wash off the soot. When using the Rocket Stoven, place the handle in back so the plastic handle does not rest on the burn chamber and melt. The Rocket Stoven will get hot to touch. The burn chamber pipe is especially hot and should not be touched when in use. When not in use, all of the Rocket Stoven parts fit right inside, so it is easy to store and carry. A sun oven is another option to cook food outdoors, but on partly sunny days and during early morning and late evening, the sun oven is mostly ineffective. It can't generate or maintain sufficient, consistent heat to cook. On cloudy days, a sun oven doesn't work at all. The Rocket Stoven can be used anytime and in all types of weather. It is even usable and effective on windy days. Imagine trying to cook for your family with just one burner on your stove and no oven. You now have multiple options while camping. You can cook more food, more efficiently, and in less time. The Deluxe Camping Rocket Stoven takes you to a whole new level of outdoor cooking, making your camping experience more clean and comfortable. Order yours today at deluxecamping.com.